Welcome to the third video in Section 7, Testing Streams. In the previous video, we were implementing the Reactive Tweets application, and I hope you checked the complete example code. In this video, we will take a look at different ways to test source, sync, and flow. We will test source, sync, and flow using the following methods: simple sources, syncs, and flows, using actors, using Akka Stream Test Kit. Let's play with the first method. We will start with sync. Let's define a sync that we want to test. Let's say it's a very simple fold that will sum all elements of a stream. We know the stream we'll use is finite, so this is safe. Now, we define a simple source. Let's say it is an iterator from 1 to 4. If we run the source with our sync, the result should be 10. So let's connect source to sync. Once we run the stream, it materializes a value of future long, which is the result of the fold operation once the stream finishes. Our result is a future, so let's use the await function. This result then must be 10. Let's run our test. Great. Let's move to source. Let's say we have a source that produces iterator numbers from 1 to 10. Such a source can be tested by asserting that first arbitrary number of elements. We will group this source by 2. This means the group will chunk up this source for 5 groups. Then, let's connect this source to sync, which returns the head of it. So our result must be a sequence that contains 1 and 2. Let's run. Excellent. Now let's move our attention to flow. Let's say we have a flow that takes a number less than 5. Let's try this flow with a source that contains an iterator from 1 to 10 and a sync returning the fold element to list. Our result must be a sequence from 1 to 4. Let's run. Great. Now let's play with the second approach. Akka Stream offers integration with actors out of the box. This support can be used for writing stream tests that use familiar test probe from the Akka Test Kit API. Let's test the source. We have a source that contains a number from 1 to 4, and we will chunk it up to 2. Let's define our test probe, which will receive the results. Now, let's connect our source to sync that returns the head and then pipe it to our test actor. Now, let's expect that our test actor receives a sequence of 2 sequences. Let's run the test. Great! Let's test a sync now. First, let's define a source that generates a tick every 200 milliseconds. Then, let's create a test probe and a sync that sends the elements of the stream to the given actor. The actor_ref function takes an actor_ref for our actor and the message that will send when the stream is completed successfully. Now, let's define our runnable. Now we should expect a tick message. Then for 100 milliseconds, we expect we don't receive anything, and after 200 milliseconds, we will receive another tick message. Let's cancel our runnable. So we should receive a complete message. Let's run. Excellent. We can use actor_ref from source to get full control over elements to be sent. So let's use it. Let's define a sync that converts int to string and will concatenate these strings. Then, let's define our source using the actor_ref function that takes the size of the buffer in element count and the strategy that is used when incoming elements cannot fit inside the buffer. Then, let's create our runnable and run it. This will return our future result, an actor_ref for a source. Now, let's send some messages to this ref. And then let's expect our result. Let's run. Great. Now it's time for Akka Stream Test Kit. The Akka Stream Test Kit provides test source and test sync. We will use test sync when we want to test the source, and test source when we want to test the sync. Let's start with testing this source. Here we have a source containing 4 elements and perform a filter and map operation on it. Now let's run this source with test sync. The probe function from test sync will materialize a sync to a test subscriber. And this has a lot of useful methods that will help us on the test, like a request function that we use to request a number of elements until we request some element. The stream is back-pressured and won't actually generate the values because it needs demand, us requesting elements, to make it run. Our stream should contain 2 elements, so let's request 2. And we will use expectNext that takes elements, and then we expect the stream to complete. Let's run. Great. Now let's use testSource. Let's define our sync that is simpler. Then let's connect this sync with the test source. We should just expect a cancellation. Let's run. Excellent! See you in the next video, where we will introduce a new concept on Akka streams, graphs, and see how we can work with it.